Live.
Okay, it's live now. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Narmin Ibrahimova. I am moderating today's panel. I am seeing, okay, we are live right now. I can see that we are live. So yesterday we had a big opening to the 4th International Scientific Conference of Economics and Management Researchers, where we had, opening with our rector, Professor Adalat Muradov, and then we had government representatives. We had the representatives of universities, of different universities around the world, including the UK, Spain, and Portugal. So today we are continuing with the panels. We have different panels that are covering different subjects of economics, and our panel is dedicated on promoting student entrepreneurship at Azerbaijani higher educational institutions. So I have my colleagues with me today. I will briefly introduce each of them, and then we will go through their speeches and presentations. The ladies comes first. Let me start by briefly introducing Nergiz Hanım. Nergiz Hanım is a country director of British Council. She just have been appointed as a country director of British Council. She has been at the British Council since 2014, and over her 9 years tenure at the organization, Nergiz Hanım has worked to build many mutually beneficial partnerships between the most important and influential Azerbaijani and British institutions. Thousands of policymakers, young learners, teachers, up-and-coming entrepreneurs, and others have benefited from the online and face-to-face learning opportunities and intercultural exchanges as a result. Nergiz Hanım has over 15 years of experience in managing educational programs. She has worked in 5 different international organizations in various leadership roles, managing teams and supporting educational reform agendas in Azerbaijan. Nergiz Hanım is very excited to take up the role of country director of British Council in Azerbaijan and continue the British Council's 29-year of legacy of supporting the government priority reform agendas alongside the British Embassy. Welcome, Nergiz Hanım. We are very happy to have you in our panel.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you.
Our next panelist is Dr. Chitendran Kokranikal. He is joining us from London, from the UK, University of Greenwich. Dr. Chitendran Kokranikal joined the Business School of the University of Greenwich in 2009. Main areas of his research and teaching include strategic management of tourism and hospitality enterprises, human resource management, tourism policy, tourism in developing countries, entrepreneurship development, responsible tourism, and sustainability. He is a team editor, tourism planning and development for the International Journal of Tourism Cities. Dr. Kokranikal gained his PhD and MSc in tourism from Slide University and MA in personal management and social work from Madras University and a BA from Loyola College, Madras. He is a certified management and business educator awarded by the Chartered Association of Business Schools in UK. Before joining Greenwich University, Dr. Kokranikal was a lecturer in tourism at the Department of Hospitality and Management, where he was director of postgraduate programs. Earlier, Dr. Kokranikal worked as an assistant professor in tourism and program coordinator at the Kerala Institute of Tourism and Travel Studies in India. Dr. Kokranikal is a member of the editorial board and a regular reviewer for several international journals such as Tourism Management, International Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management, Management Decisions, Sustainability, Journal of Tourism, Heritage and Services Marketing, among others. He is a member of the Tourism Society UK, the British Academy of Management, Asia Pacific Tourism Association, and the Institute of Small Business and entrepreneurship. Dr. Kokranikal, we welcome you in the panel.
Thank you very much.
And our last speaker is Mr. Rauf Mammadov. He is a project management at our university at UNEG. He has an extensive knowledge and expertise in drafting and implementing different development projects in the field of cooperation, educational innovation, and entrepreneurship. During his time at UNEG, he has developed and managed small, mid, and big-sized projects with local and international experts, with British Council in Azerbaijan, with wider Europe, German Savings Bank Foundation for International Cooperation, and World Trade Organization. He holds an MBA from UNEG and a master's degree in education policy and human development from George Washington University in the United States. Mr. Mammadov is also a consultant on behalf of the Asan Khidmat in a national project which aims to foster the startup and innovation ecosystem at Azerbaijani universities. Welcome, Rauf Bey. It's a pleasure to have you in the panel.
Thank you very much for a warm greeting.
Thank you all for joining us today. I would like to start with Nergiz Hanım. Nergiz Hanım, you are the first Azerbaijani woman who is taken a leadership position at the international organization. We are very proud of your achievement and congratulations one more time. Let us start with you. Give us a perspective on the educational projects and programs that British Council has been implemented in Azerbaijan, and you have been working for almost a decade. So you have been at different positions. So you are very much have an extensive background on the field. Like, can you tell us how the projects that the British Council is carrying in Azerbaijan help the universities and also vocational schools to boost their entrepreneurship? You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Nermin Hanım, for the warmest welcome. Thank you, colleagues. It's my pleasure to be on the same panel with such distinguished representatives of one of the partnerships that British Council is supporting under Creative Spark program. So this is the partnership between UNIC and Greenwich University and Azerbaijan State Tourism and Management University. So I applaud the partners and thank you for the invitation. This is a great initiative indeed that UNIC has initiated an international conference that would address the importance of research and economic development. And I need to say that the creative industries play direct role of importance in the economic development. So if we look at UK's economy, we can see that even during this year that the creative industries, they provided the largest share of contribution to the economic development. That's why it's more so and more important that we work under the auspices of the program and support the development of creative industries, of creative enterprise education. We support the work of university to businesses, partnership developments, and of course apply the innovative and creative approaches. So just to share our experience, this is what the Creative Spark program is about. We've started in 2018. And since then, we've supported thousands of students and graduates, young entrepreneurs, and we broke new ground with innovative business ideas. Over the past 4 years, we've prioritized improving enterprise education. Almost all partner institutions succeeded in embedding change in curricula, in internal structures of the institutions, as well as building enterprise hubs, incubation hubs. And the purpose of these hubs is to achieve sustainable outcomes under the Creative Spark program. So just to bring a few examples, UNIC was one of the active partners, the universities that Rauf Melim and Nermin Hanım you present. So UNIC has been leading the way in suggesting curricula changes, in suggesting enterprise hub work, as well as I know that you've had the English Hub and you've supported your students with English development, because language knowledge also comes very important and handy when working with international partners, and of course the access to information and printing the information and publishing information in the language. So in all of this direction, UNIC has selected a very inclusive approach, and of course working closely with Greenwich University. You've been piloting a lot of initiatives, and I need to mention that under the auspices of Big Idea Challenge competition, UNIC's student, Mehmet Kekalov, became a global champion and won an award for a creative idea developing fashion for people with disabilities. So it was fashion clothing for people with disabilities. So this idea was supported by the institution, by the British Council under the auspices of the program. And I know that this work is being continued, and he's receiving even wider promotion and further support. Just to mention several other initiatives that we have under the Creative Spark program, this year we've launched the digital platform that is aiming, it's a learning platform that's aiming to build synergies for sustainability of the program. It contains resources that were developed under the Creative Spark program, and these resources, of course, are available for students and young entrepreneurs. This is a bespoke free access of materials that have been developed by all partners during the project lifetime, and we think that this tool will serve for academics, for students, and for the partners as the great tool to provide support for further developing the tools and curricula and etc. I'm also glad to inform that under the partnership, we've been working closely with the Center for Analysis of Economic Reforms and Communication in Azerbaijan, and their partnership with Newcastle University has been successful in the sense that they've developed a strategy consultancy report on the development of enterprise entrepreneurship education and higher education. And this strategy was presented to the Ministry of Education last week. And I think this is a great opportunity, of course, to consider the recommendations that were provided under this partnership, and something that various higher education institutions could embed in their work. And I also, mentioning the partners, I need to say that a lot of sustainable outcomes came out of this program, and be it climate change, be it inclusion, be it gender parity. So a lot of various issues were addressed under various partnerships. So we've been working closely with Hazar University and their partner Middlesex, and they've been extremely active during the previous year on climate change. And as you know, UK hosted this climate change summit, and that's and we were proudly hosting the summit. And I'm glad that Creative Spark was able to create opportunities for partnership and collaboration under the auspices of this important topic. That is, they've held conference in Ganja. They've organized 2 conferences in Baku. They've involved school children as well through the Dinya School. So I applaud this initiative as well. I think this is important to applaud and embrace these opportunities. Also, as I mentioned, those, of course, we as British Council continue raising awareness of the importance of developing creative industries in entrepreneurship education in the country. We've signed a memorandum of understanding with the Azerbaijan Creative Industry Federation, and the purpose is to extend the effective partnership, promote joint initiative, organize international policy dialogues that would address creative industry, support institutions work between UK and Azerbaijan. And I strongly believe that all of this initiative will create change throughout the system. They will keep supporting and empowering the next generation of students, young entrepreneurs. Their business dreams and ideas, aspirations will be realized, and we are a proud partner. And Creative Spark became a flagship program, and I'm very proud to say that this happened because we have committed partners just like yourself, such as UNIC, Greenwich, but also other 6 partnerships that we have. So each partnership has a success story to share. And to conclude, I want to say that in the end of July, and to be precise, on July 22nd, British Council will be hosting a Big Idea Challenge awarding ceremony, where we are going to announce this year winner. Just to say that just over the last year, over 85,000 people took part in the public voting for this competition, and we will be announcing the results of the People's Choice Award as well as the Professional Panels Award. So stay tuned, and as we are about to announce the result, it's great to see, and we're excited to hear which institution is going to become a winner this year and what creative idea is going to be supported this year. So wishing success to all the applicants. And once again, I'd like to thank the partnership that's represented here. And as I passing on the word to the partners, to Rauf Müəllim and Dr. Kokranekal, once again, huge congratulations and big thanks for your hard work on the project. Over to you, Nermin Hanım.
Thank you very much, Nergis Hanım. Thank you for this extensive presentation. Just a quick reminder to our live stream followers is that you may leave your questions on the comment section. I will read it to our panelists. Now I would like to move to Dr. Kokranekal, the international partner of the Creative Spark project, and get his perspective from in terms of promoting student entrepreneurship at University of Greenwich. Dr. Kokranekal, you have the floor.
Okay. Thank you very much, Narmin. I am basically, I have a more kind of a tougher task to follow Nargis Hanım. Okay, I'm going to talk about the role of universities in promoting higher education, entrepreneurship education in the wider society and promoting entrepreneurship in the society. So I have a brief presentation. Let me share the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
We are not.
You are not. Okay, let me try it again. Yeah?
It sounds like, okay.
Okay, it took some time. Okay. Okay, it's good afternoon in Baku. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jitendran Kokranekal from the University of Greenwich. So I'm going to start with one of my former students. His name is Anish Kumar. He was a student of tourism and travel management at an institute in India, where I used to be an assistant professor. So Anish Kumar set up a website while he was a student about Kerala. So it was a generic website that gave out information on Kerala as a destination. So he used to post good photographs, articles, and also information about various things that were happening in Kerala. And gradually, he started receiving enquiries about Kerala. And from these enquiries, he started receiving, requests for help to visit Kerala. So he started, helping visitors from all over the world to visit Kerala, because Kerala was a relatively little known destination in the 90s and early 2000. And over a period of time, he set up he kind of branded this website, the Travel Planners. So you can see this is his website, the Travel Planners. And in a matter of about 5 to 6 years, the Travel Planners became one of the leading tour operators in Kerala, in South India, and has won a lot of prizes at the national level and the regional level for one of the most innovative and one of the, the best organized tour operators in Kerala. So this is an example I always use in my classes, because this is a very good example of a student who took that initiative, to set up a website and use that website to develop a very successful tourism venture. Okay, so I believe the students, when the universities and academics have a very important role in promoting entrepreneurship and business development in any society. So the structure of my presentation. Okay, so I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship education very briefly, then about what the kind of activities that normally take place in universities to promote entrepreneurship education, and then I'll go through what Greenwich University does in promoting entrepreneurship education. So the purpose of entrepreneurship education is to develop entrepreneurship behaviors, skills, and competencies, so that our students become, develop those skills or the kind of, mindset to become an entrepreneur or a venture creator, or it will help them to become a better business professional, or build a successful career. And in other words, they can contribute or create value for the society. So what do they do? What is the kind of end result of entrepreneurship education? So entrepreneurship education can create entrepreneurs who create ventures, then intrapreneur, or in other words, corporate entrepreneurship, where students can become, more innovative and creative and highly competent business professionals, creating a lot of value for their business organizations. Then our students can be developed into social entrepreneurs who can, help solve social problems. And finally, we can help our students develop an entrepreneurial mindset, where our students can become, very creative, innovative, and very competent in identifying or recognizing opportunities. So how do we do that? So the universities can, or higher education institutions can play an important role in creating a culture that support entrepreneurial behavior, kind of an approach that recognize the importance of learning by doing, or learning by creating value. So our teaching and learning activities can definitely, provide students with this experience of learning by doing, or learning by creating value. So the focus or the target group of our entrepreneurship education are students, the primary stakeholders, then educators. We also need to support our educators, teachers and lecturers, to become an entrepreneurial educators, and the wider society, who are going to be the beneficiaries of all the entrepreneurial outcomes that can result from student learning and student education. So the universities normally achieve these through setting up enterprise development centers, embedding entrepreneurship in their curriculum, and trying to become an entrepreneurial university that can identify innovation, or the universities that has the capacity to become innovative and identify opportunities to improve their teaching and learning activities, curriculum, and the overall development of the university as a space for creativity, innovation, and making a major contribution to the socio-economic development of the society. So, as academics, the starting point in entrepreneurship education could be through, designing curriculum that is embedded with entrepreneurship competencies, like, highlighting or appreciating the values of creativity, value creation, and venture creation. So one of the very useful models for this is the entrepreneurship competence framework developed by the European Union. So the entrepreneurship competence framework of the European Union focus on 3 areas: ideas and opportunities. You can see that in the the violet or the purple part of the diagram. Then the resources for entrepreneurship, and the into action, like certain attitudes that are essential for entrepreneurship. So can start with by embedding entrepreneurship in our teaching and learning activities and in our curriculum design. So the next part is setting up enterprise development centers. So these are dedicated centers for enterprise development that can help organize enterprise startup boot camps, business planning training, business training, how to manage the businesses, and mentoring support, incubation support, and organize enterprise challenge competition. So I'm going to briefly go through the Enterprise Development Center, what the Enterprise Development Center at the Greenwich University do in order to to support entrepreneurship development among our students. So our Entrepreneurship Development Center is called the Generator. So this is a dedicated standalone department which has got its own space. They got rooms, they got offices, they got a number of experts who run the Enterprise Development Center. So we help our students, graduates, and external stakeholders, for example, outside businesses, to develop their entrepreneurial skills, start new ventures, and grow or improve their existing businesses. So how do we do this? We do this via organizing inspirational talks, collaborating with academic staff. We have a very good pool of highly talented, highly qualified, highly experienced academic staff. So they are involved in the activities of the Generator, offering training, offering funding to our students, offering networking opportunities to our students. Then visa endorsement, like students are offered support to get an entrepreneurship visa at the end of their studies, and participating in funded projects to support enterprises in the community. For example, there is a project called Social and Economic Integration of Refugees, to support refugees who have moved into UK to start their own businesses. So we take part in this project, receive fund from the government, and help the refugee entrepreneurs. Then we provide workspace for students and the entrepreneurs in our own university, so that they can use the resources in our university to run their business, especially during the initial stages. So this is the typical journey that our students go through, if they are interested in entrepreneurship and through Generator. So we provide students with one-to-one appointments, power talks, by successful entrepreneurs. We organize workshops. Then we organize hackathons where students get an opportunity to participate in idea development or consultancy kind of challenges. Then we have the startup boot camps. Then we organize enterprise challenges. Then we have an accelerator service within the university. Then the workspace, and we also offer bursaries to our students, to to set up their own business. So I will briefly go through each of these activities. I try to be as brief as possible. So one-to-one appointments. All our students can approach the generator for a one-to-one appointment in which they can discuss their business idea, develop their business idea. So we have a team of experienced professionals within the generator who can help students. We can also arrange experts from outside university or from among our staff, academic staff. Then we organize these hackathons. We call it Grey Hacks. So here students will be given an opportunity to work in teams over a 3-day period on challenges set by our partner organization. These could be, outside businesses who will present a business problem to the students, and they work over a period of 3 days, to find a solution. And the winners will receive a prize of £100 each, and their ideas will be implemented by our partner institutions. Then the Startup Bootcamp. This is a very popular activity. There is a lot of students who apply for to take part in the Startup Bootcamps. This is a 3-day bootcamp in which the students are given an opportunity to develop their business ideas, test and launch them. So we provide them mentorship. We provide them with all kind of support in terms of training for presentation, training for idea generation, and lean canvas evaluation. So this is again a very popular activity within the university among the students. Then we organize enterprise challenge every year. So any student with an idea can apply to take part in the enterprise challenge, either individually or as a team. So they work over a period of 6 months on this idea, developing this idea into a well-developed business plan. So there will be periodic pitching competitions. The semi-finals, 20 teams will be selected for the semi-finals, and there'll be 10 teams shortlisted for the finals. So the teams in the finals they will win a share of around £14,000 in funding. So depending on their project, depending on the business idea, they will get a share of this £14,000. Like 10 teams will get a share of this £14,000. Then we offer students co-workspace. So you can see the workspace. There are a number of desks that students can use. There are computers. There is private meeting rooms. There is a projector, screens, audio visual support. So this is available to students from 9 to 5 p.m. They can book it online. And a lot of our students do make use of the co-workspace because, when they start a business, they may not have an office. So our generator generator functions as an office for our students. Then we offer bursaries for students who are planning to run a business or who are already running a business. So they can get a grant up to £1,250. This is supported by Santander Bank. So this is another major initiative that we have introduced in recent years. So students can apply online, and it's not very bureaucratic. We have a meeting with them, and then we decide whether their ideas are good enough for financial support. Then we have an accelerator where we offer intensive week-long training programs on how to run a business. These are delivered by experienced business experts. So the accelerator program covers areas such as finance, human resource, sales, and marketing. Then we help our students to get a startup visa at the end of their studies, so they can get a startup visa for 2 years. So we sponsor our students in applying for the startup visa. So these are the kind of activities that we offer our students, and we have been quite good at supporting our students. There have been a number of students, who already run businesses during their studies while they are at universities, and they also run start businesses after leaving the university, and they come back for support from the generator. So to summarize, I believe the universities and higher education institutions can play a major role in promoting entrepreneurship, because students, when they start their own business, they don't have to struggle to find a job. They can start their own business, and they can create jobs, offer jobs for their classmates, and create economic value for the society. So that's all, my president. Thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer it at the end. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kokranical. We already have questions, but I will leave it till the end of the panel. So our last speaker is Mr. Rauf Mehmetov. Rauf Melim has been at UNIC and has been very active on implementing the Creative Spark project. So he definitely has some words to share. So now I would like to kind of receive the perspective of local partner of the project. Rauf Melim, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so can you see my screen?
We cannot. Can you try it one more time? Okay, it's opening. Yes. We can see it now.
Okay, great. So I will briefly start talking about our achievements within the Creative Spark program. So first, I'd like to go over what the Creative Spark program is. My colleagues Nargis Hanım and Dr. Justundum have given some brief insights. I will go a little bit more deeper. So what the Creative Spark program is a 5-year initiative aiming to support the university and international partnerships to develop universities into more entrepreneurial states. This happens by transferring the UK experience to the 7 countries within the program. So we had a question as how does the Creative Spark program aim to do this? So they've held lots of national policy forums, development of new curriculum, enterprise-based education materials, and they've also gone around establishing business incubation centers. So from what I know, the program has around 50 partnerships running across 7 countries. So let's talk about what UNIC aimed to do with these partnerships. We were lucky to start with the University of Greenwich, so we also had a partnership with the University of East London. So we decided to set policy at the university level as a first. So what this means was that we decided to involve almost all of our university constituents, starting from our teachers, deans, centers, so we can fully persuade them what entrepreneurship was and why it was important to make it a core in the university. We shared lots of funding opportunities for our students and with our staff members. We have also given them many chances to participate in local resources funded by the British Council, which were the English Select videos, the Big Idea Sounds competition, and English language classes, along with their online tools that they have developed throughout the project. We decided to be inclusive, so we've also, not only our trainings were held in Baku, we've also held them across the regions of Azerbaijan. We have targeted Ganja, Mingesevir, Sumgait, and Lankaran joined online. So we tried to make it diverse as possible so we can make sure that youths living in the regions could also benefit from the projects, not only the ones living inside the capital. We made employment and socio-economic integration priorities, as we've been teaching the students how they can boost the country's economy by sharing them lots of boot camps, TOT sessions, lots of incubation competitions. We've also decided to involve lots of various organizations throughout our meetings, webinars, roundtable discussions, policy forums. We've been happy to invite our bankings, lots of banks to our projects. We've also invited organizations which deal with the small, medium business enterprise. Women Entrepreneurship Association has always been kind enough to join our project activities. We've designed, like I mentioned before, by setting a policy at the university level, we've managed to design and integrate an approach toward entrepreneurship in the university. We've been in part of our bootcamp trainings. Our main goal was to teach the youth on how to set up their own business. Now, after they graduate, it is quite easy to find a job and get employed, but we know that small, medium businesses play a very crucial role in the development of the country's economy. So our main core focus has been around teaching them how to set up their own business, and we've managed to empower communities. We managed to empower communities along the Silk Road region as well. So very briefly, I will go over the achieved trainings that within our partnerships. So the core within our trainings has been the boot camps. The boot camps targeted unique students and boot camps for regional students and the youth. Boot camps for our students, we've had over 400 students enjoying the boot camps. This has been held online due to the pandemic for 1 year, and the second year we've managed to have it face-to-face for them. The regional students, the first year, because of COVID, we couldn't freely move around the country or barely go outside. So the only possible way to deliver these activities was through online trainings. But this year, we were more than happy to expand these activities, move to face-to-face. We were more than happy to share our experience with students living in Genza and youth living in Gabala. So SME development agencies, banks were one of our core partners within our webinars and policy discussions. Trainers are exactly the core of the program. So even though we teach our students, when they graduate, they leave, but we needed to ensure some way to achieve sustainability. We needed to have a way to ensure that the next generation of students, the next wave of students, were able to get what the students were able to get from the Creative Spark program. So we involved all of our lecturers, especially other lecturers from our other partner universities, from İQTİSADİYYAT, also known as Azerbaijan Tourism Management University, and teachers from the Baku Music Academy were also involved in our training activities. I would like to especially thank Dr. Jitendra Kokranekal for training them very well. We have also made use of online resources like the British Council has offered us, especially their enterprise development has very nice tools which students can benefit from. Not only students, but also non-project participants may also make use of it very well. We've also developed our very own toolkit for our website, for our own project's website. This project's toolkit has lots of information regarding sales strategies, setting up your own business tactics, information about business models, digital marketing, social media marketing, which students and non-participants are more than happy to use around. English language courses have been a very core of this project, and the Big Idea competition. You may go look at the project. You may see what ideas students not only from Azerbaijan, but students from like other countries have been doing, what are their ideas, and what they plan to do in the future. I would like to also share information about the Silk Road of Azerbaijan. So our partnership with the University of Greenwich focused on students and youth developing their own micro-medium tourism businesses. So since Azerbaijan was one of the countries part of the ancient Silk Road, we also decided to recreate this in our project by looking at which cities were part of the Silk Road and having them involved in projects as much as possible. To our surprise, I was very surprised to see that we had lots of very bright minds and lots of people who were eager to create their own businesses within the Silk Road region. So within this project, we targeted 4 parts of Azerbaijan. We targeted Mingechevir, Ganja, which is the second capital, Sumgayit, and Gabala. As I mentioned earlier, because of the COVID pandemic, we had very big difficulties in moving outside the region or even going outside. So most of these projects, activities were delivered online. Despite that, we had very huge numbers of participants. We had 172 students in total from the trainings we have delivered. And as you can see from this chart, the highest number of students came from Mingechevir. Now I would like to talk about the Big Idea competition. Since UNIC joined in 2019, to the competition, we were only participating for 3 years. But even in our first year, we were able to become the country champion and the international champion. I'll be talking about that more in a moment. So university-wide, there was quite a lot of interest from our students. We had over 80 applications within the 3 years of being inside the project, so it was very tough to choose the ideas and submit them. But we managed to choose 39 applications in total and send them. Out of them, the 2020 champion was Mohammed Chakala with his idea about adaptive fashion. Now, what adaptive fashion is that it's basically a clothing brand for people with disabilities, which is something very new. You can't find this in Azerbaijan or in many parts of the world as well. He was also the category winner with his prized idea as well. I will share a short story about how this idea came into mind. Mohammed shared this story when he was talking to us in a meeting. He said that growing up, his grandmother was disabled, so she had very tough difficulties getting dressed, finding clothes for herself. And growing up, this inspired him to create a fashion brand to not only help her, but to help other people in the community as well. And our category winner for 2021 was one of our students in economics, Tural. His idea was called Respondables. Now, what the Respondables project startup does is that many researchers and many people today are looking for information, data, which they can't acquire easily. It's quite hard to find stuff like that nowadays. So what he did is that he created an online platform which was paid surveys in Azerbaijan. So basically, if you needed some kind of information, you would register, give your amount, and say that you would like information about this topic. This could be about academia, industry, some kind of social experiment. People will simply register and then go onwards to earn some money and get their questions answered. So this just about wraps up what I want to talk about. If there are any other questions, I will be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Rauf Bey, for your presentation. Now let me go through the questions. We have some questions for our panelists. I will start with Nergiz Hanım. Nergiz Hanım, the question is, can you talk about the expectations at the beginning of Creative Spark and how they have changed over the time?
That's a very interesting question, Nermin. Thank you. Back in 2018, when we were starting, this was something new. This was new for the country. This was new for universities. So we were not sure how the things are going to land, although initial response from when we talked to higher education institutions was positive. They were excited about the opportunity, but then how will it land with the students, what interest they're going to get, how it's going to be embraced by the academic community. So these were all various questions that people were raising, and I think that after 4 years we can see that the program proved itself to be very beneficial for the academics, for the students, but as well for the community that has been involved into the program implementation, because Creative Spark already formed a network, a community of people, and it's the management, it's the administration, it's the academics, it's the teachers, it's the students. It's actually the promotion means that we were using the very vast through the social media channels. Some of our sessions went live during the pandemic. We held Meet the Entrepreneur session when we were inviting actual entrepreneurs from the UK, and they were speakers from the Greenwich University and as well as from Azerbaijan that spoke on their achievements and how the academia, how the higher education institutions can support creating the ideas, can support generating ideas, can support implementation, and how these successful entrepreneurs, some of them even became mentors for the Big Idea Challenge or for the program in general. So I think that the program for these 4 years has evolved, and now it's been showing the success, the results, all of the marvelous work that have been just mentioned by the colleagues, by Dr. Kokranikal, by Rauf Merlin, that we went out to regions, we've provided inclusive approaches, we've ensured gender balance. Whenever the conferences were hosted, the doors were open for partners from all universities, respectively from the UK and Azerbaijan. So I want to say that our partnerships have been extremely inclusive in the sense that last time I saw the representatives of various universities who were not partners of Creative Spark. So I applaud that the partners are so inclusive, that they're so supportive, and that the program in the 4th year has already achieved vast results. So indeed, for the 4th period time, we see the progression. So, and all of that is definitely a hard work of the teams that have the vision, have the commitment to make this program a success. None of it would be a success if we wouldn't have the driving factors, we wouldn't have the driving people such as yourself. So thanks once again. Over to you, Nermin.
Thank you very much, Nergis Hanım. This project wouldn't happen if we didn't have British Council and yourself, who have been very dedicated to the program and to the project. Thank you very much for all your kind support and kind words. Thank you.
With pleasure. Thank you.
So our next question comes to Dr. Kokranikal. So you have been to Azerbaijan 2 times for the past 2 months. So can you reflect on the part of the project implementation in Azerbaijan? That's first question. And then the next question is what do you think is needed to adopt UK experience in Azerbaijan in terms of promoting entrepreneurship among young people?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the questions. Okay, to begin with, I want to thank Nergis Hanım and her team for really extending the kind of support, that really helped us survive 3 difficult years. I still remember 2020, March, when I had booked my ticket, booked my hotel, got my visa, and I was, about to travel to Baku to deliver the first training workshop, boot camp. Then COVID started. Then everything went into a limbo. Then, we had to really, adapt to the evolving situation. And, the British Council really gave us the kind of confidence, because we were really, not sure, what are we going to do? Like, we need to deliver all these activities, and we have made a commitment on part of our university. How are we going to do it? So the team in Baku, led by Nergis Hanım, really, we got a lot of reassurance, not just to the Greenwich side, Rauf and Faina initially, and Inja from ATMU, we all were completely lost. And the kind of support we received from the British Council team in Baku, we cannot thank you enough. Okay. So coming to the implementation, so we had a very good collaborative a relationship with our partners in at the UNEC, especially Rauf and Nermin, and at the ATMU, Azerbaijan Tourism Management University, because we worked as a very good team. Because of that team spirit, we were able to deliver all our activities, project activities, very well. In fact, one of our teams won the Big Idea Challenge in the first year, and that student is doing really well, running his business that we developed and pitched as part of the Big Idea Challenge. So I believe that there is immense potential for enterprise development in Azerbaijan. I had an opportunity to interact with the students in Baku, both ATMU and UNEC, and then Ganja University and Kabala. The youngsters are full of initiatives. They have a lot of ideas. They are, all that they need is a little bit of support. So the universities, I'm sure they're already doing a fantastic job, but I'm sure, with the kind of the projects such as the Creative Spark, you can take the entrepreneurial, talent of your students or the youngsters to the next level. So the project implementation, I must say, it was a really rewarding experience. It was very effective. We have been quite, successful in delivering all our project activities and meeting the project objectives. And hopefully we can continue these activities in some other form. I understand, the Creative Spark is going to come to an end by January 2023. So beyond that, I think our universities and our teams can sit together and look for ways to, take the project and its outcomes to the next level, so that the university partners and our partners in other Silk Road regions will be able to, continue to benefit from this initiative. We can create a legacy of the Creative Spark Higher Education Enterprise Program. The second question about adapting UK experience. So one of the deliverables, the activities of the Creative Spark program is to help our partner universities to develop incubators and accelerators and capacity development of the enterprise development activities, capacity development of the academics and enterprise development center. Like both UNEC and ATMU have their own enterprise development center, which can really be developed into a very active, well organized, very effective enterprise development center. So there are best practices that are happening in Greenwich, and as part of this project, colleagues from partner institute like from UNEC, ATMU, and BMA, who's going to be our new partner, will be visiting Greenwich in the autumn 2022, and we are organizing a number of activities, to train, to familiarize them with the best practices that are happening in our enterprise development center. So I'm sure, there will be a lot of takeaways from that visit, and hopefully what they learn, some of the best practices, some of the activities that we do could be replicated at UNEC and ATMU and BMA initially. And if there are an opportunity, if you are able to take our project to the next stage, perhaps we can expand the project activities to other universities in Azerbaijan, and this will really help in setting up enterprise development centers in universities that do not already have an enterprise development center. But if in the universities there are already existing enterprise development centers, we will be able to support them in organizing activities, in developing their capacity, and sharing some of those best practices with them. So I'm sure there is a lot to do. Lot can be achieved, and Azerbaijan is such a fantastic country, such fantastic people. They have so much initiative, so much talent. So I think there is a great potential for enterprise development in Azerbaijan, especially among the youngsters. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your response. We have. We have our last question goes to Rauf Melim. Rauf Melim, what do you think? What kind of value Creative Spark brought to UNEC?
Thank you very much. I'll be brief since we've been talking for a long time. To be short, I would say that the Creative Spark program has really brought a spark to the university students and to our culture. Before this program, most of our students were not interested in entrepreneurship. They really didn't care about starting their own business or doing anything new or anything about startups. But after this program, we've been able to see that there has been a large number of students who really want to start their own business. We've been receiving lots of messages and requests from them to be part of the project, to get support and funding for their activities. So the program lives to its legacy. It has really been a spark to our university.
Thank you, Rauf Melim. Thank you all. Thank you to all our panelists for making your time, for being with us, and for discussing how this student entrepreneurship is being promoted and could be promoted at the higher education institutions in Azerbaijan. And we are ending our panel in here. We'll see you next time in the next meetings. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for excellent moderation, Nermin Khan. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you very
We
much.
enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.